Hey there guys, and welcome back to Dino Reviews. Let's talk The Rental. So The Rental was actually released this year, and it's actually directed by Franco. Now the movie itself, it's co-written between him and Joe Swansburg. It also stars Alison Brie, who is Dave Franco's wife, Dan Stevens, Sheila and Jeremy Allen White. The overall plot of the movie focuses on two couples who go off for the weekend and rent an Airbnb. Now slowly they start to realise that nothing is quite right in this Airbnb. There is somebody stalking them, there's somebody watching them from within the house. As well as that, each of the characters kind of have their own drama and their own skeletons in their closet. What I like a lot about this movie is you actually spend a lot of time with the characters themselves. So they are kind of fully realised characters, they all have their own issues, and you see that in the film. You kind of spend a lot of time kind of looking at their secrets and what's been happening with them, as well as their relationship issues. As the movie progresses, we slowly begin to see that yes, somebody is watching them, but the movie itself, it doesn't take too much time off of the characters and their development. I did enjoy that about it, just because when that kind of final act of the movie comes and they start to get picked off one by one, you care a lot about the characters. As well as that though, the main thing here for me is their relationship drama is actually interesting, and it gives us reasons for them not leaving the house. Too many times with horror movies and slasher movies in particular, the characters have many different reasons to leave and they just don't do it. This one just kind of sets up a plot twist where they actually can't tell the rest about what's going on. They kind of can't leave the house because of their secret. I did enjoy that about how it was an interesting twist, and it was a great way to keep them in the film. The location, the setup of the house is also beautiful in this movie. How it's shot by Dave Franco is extremely surprising. He has different shots throughout this movie, but just the location alone is a great pick. It's a stunning house, but at the same time there is something quite sinister about it and the people around it. Even the kind of unknown killer in this one, he did remind me a lot of Friday the 13th, because we get those classic POV shots of him looking at them from the woods or within the house itself. The movie, I will say guys, it's definitely a slow burn movie. The first maybe 2/3 in the movie, nothing particularly big happens. We're always being teased that there's somebody out there watching these characters. But at the same time, all of the characters have enough drama of their own to keep us interested. When I was watching this movie, honestly, there was many different times I forgot that there is kind of an unknown killer outside, because I was too interested in seeing what was happening with these four characters. So there's a lot of fun stuff with that kind of happening. There's a lot of red herrings in the movie as well, and a lot of twists and turns. The movie is definitely a mix of different genres. It's psychological horror, it is relationship drama, it's comedy even at times, and then also it's a slasher movie. I loved that and hated that at the same time, but just for the part of it that I did love, I did like how they developed that. The first half of the movie, as I said, they keep your attention, and when you go into that last act, you really care about these characters and what's going to happen to them. Each of the cast as well give great performances throughout the movie. You don't really see Alison Brie as Alison Brie or Dan Stevens from Downton Abbey. Instead, you definitely buy into their characters, and there's not too many characters in this movie that you particularly like. They are real characters, you know, they have their issues, they have their dramas, and all of them pretty much have skeletons in their closet. The last act of the movie as well, I did really enjoy that first 2/3 of the movie, but the last act for me was a downright slasher movie. What I liked a lot about it actually reminded me of the old slasher movies from the 80s. A lot of this movie reminded me of Friday the 13th, but the last 10 minutes or so of this movie reminded me quite a bit of Friday the 13th Part 3. We don't get too much information about the killer, we don't really know what the hell is happening with them, and I like that about it. It did remind me of those older movies. At the same time, the movie definitely has some negatives. As I said, the movie, it is kind of a mix between different genres, and for the most part I like that, but at the same time I do feel they could have woven that in together a little bit better. Just the first half, as I said, is that big drama. It's a slow burn movie, and when things take a turn and turn into kind of slasher territory, it's a much different movie. I do wish they kind of had a bit more of the slasher tone throughout the film, even maybe adding 2 more characters just to up the body count, and we could pick people off as the movie went on. You don't get too much for the first maybe 50 to 60 minutes alone of this movie in relation to the killer themselves. You just kind of get the main cast and what they're dealing with themselves. As I said though, I did really enjoy that. I just wish we got more of it in the first half of the film, just so both acts could kind of meld together a little bit better. It does at times feel like 2 different movies when you get to that last act. I will say as well, just towards the end of the movie, it does get a little silly and a little over the top. They try to kind of hide a body at one point by throwing it over a cliff, and it just comes across as more comedic than anything else. But at the same time, I didn't mind it. I was enjoying this movie so much that I could kind of overlook those issues. But overall, this is a super fun movie. If you were a fan of slasher films, if you're a fan of good psychological horrors, then this is pretty much all of that in one. I was also surprised how good the movie is for Dave Franco's directorial debut, and I'm really excited to see what he does next. He did a great job in the film, and the cast at the same time did really well with what they had. It definitely gave me a taste of what slasher movies today could be, and I did find myself missing slashers. I do hope we get a return to that genre over the next few years, and if Dave Franco is the one to do it, then so be it. Now, if you are going to check this movie out, all I can really recommend is you stay offline, because there are a lot of red herrings, there are a lot of twists and turns in the film. Overall, guys, I did really enjoy this movie. I would 100% recommend checking it out. If you've seen it already, guys, leave a comment below what you thought of the movie. As always, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a big thumbs up if you like the content, and let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments below. Remember, guys, you can also follow me on social media, and I will see you in the next one.